What's going on, Assassins? It's Dark Shard of the YouTube Assassin. We're ending the Taco Tuesday Trifecta with Assassin's Creed Origins. We have two gods to battle today. The first one is Anubis as our normal mode god, meaning that he's going to be whatever level you are. So if you start this game at level 40, or obviously you don't start the game at level 40, you can start the fights at level 40. He will also be level 40. If you are level 55, as I am, he is also level 55, giving you a little more difficulty there. And speaking of difficulty, I kind of feel like he's one of the easiest bosses. Like I've said before, I kind of feel that from ease to difficulty, it's going to be Anubis, Sobek, and then Sehkmet. So here we are, just taking him out. And as you can see, the hazards that he has are these bone cages, those little spots that turn shadowy and kind of spread. They just open up, kind of. And then he's also got his animals that kind of wander towards you, his jackals that he sends your way. They're on fire and they want a piece of you. So we're going to keep going around in circles, as usual, in this arena battle. We're going to avoid getting too close to him. We're going to avoid getting too far from him. If you get too close, he's going to give you some harm. If you go too far, you'll also get damaged, or you may get knocked out of the ring. And if you get knocked out of the ring, you're going to have to start all over again. So make sure that you're within the confines there. Now, at about 75, 50, and 25% of his health, he will release minions, as you can see, and they are tethered to him. You want to make sure that you get all of them. Pay attention to the tethers. As you can see, this guy was outside the cage. I didn't even see him, and then he actually showed up after I knocked the cage open. So you want to make sure that you get all those guys, because if you don't, then the bubble on this guy's chest is not going to pop, and you really need that bubble there so that you can hit it. Another thing that he'll do is at 25%, rather than have the kind of bipedal minions, he'll have a bunch of jackals that come out. So just be prepared for that. The first two rounds where you've got the minions, you'll actually be able to kind of anticipate where they're going to pop up and kind of just assassinate one and then chain assassinate another one. That'll make your life a little bit easier. But these doggos here, you're not going to be able to assassinate, and you're going to have to take them out as quickly as possible. Again, also tethered directly to him. Another thing is that they also have kind of an effect in regards to his hazards there. So like if the hazard is going to hurt you, it's also going to hurt the animals. It's also going to hurt his other minions as well. Look at this. I almost missed that guy there. And he's got another tether there. So pay attention to the tethers. There we go. Now that all that is done, we get him again, start aiming for his chest, and just keep hitting him. We'll talk about gear and weapons when we get to the next fight, because this is something that you're going to have to make sure you've got for like both fights. Now, as you can see, we didn't even get him to 0 health. He just started fading away around 10%. I don't know why they have that kind of 10% lax off kind of thing. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. Anyway, for killing the god, we get 1,000 XP, 250 drachma, and then I get an additional 1,000 XP because I already have the gear set from defeating this god, either the weapon or the bow or the shield. So next, we have Sehkmet. That's going to be our hard mode god. Hard mode god basically means that this god is going to be 3 levels higher than your highest level. So if you're level 40, Sehkmet will be level 43. If you're level 55, Sehkmet will be level 58, as will all of her minions. And it's the same thing. 75, 50, and 25% health, those minions will come out. Her hazards include this one laser beam that comes from her head. It'll turn into 2 later on as you kind of defeat her. She's got that circle that just shows up in the middle of nowhere, start burning you. Slowly it'll start filling up with fire. And of course, like I said, her minions, as you saw, assassinated one. I anticipated where it was going to be, and then chain assassinated the other one. She also has fireballs that she'll throw by hand, and the hazards will affect these guys as well, as you just saw. So you want to get out of the way, let them take the brunt of the hit. Now, as far as gear sets go, what you want to do is you want a bow that will do damage over time, any DOT bow. So the bow that I have is actually from the God Fights, and every time I kind of get like a critical hit, what it does is give me health. That's going to be especially useful if you're taking a lot of lump-ins with these guys. Now, if you can't get that weapon, or you don't have that weapon in which it'll do that, you still want to look for something that has damage over time, either bleeding on hit or poison on hit. What'll happen is that the person will either bleed out or they'll get poisoned, and slowly their health start ticking down. You definitely want something like that. It makes the fight way easier. As far as hand-to-hand items like the swords, I have swords that are also from these God Fights, and they pretty much do the same thing. As I kind of swipe at the enemy, it'll give me health. Again, if you don't have something like that, you want anything that does high damage against these guys, or even damage over time where it'll give you some room to run, and as you're running, basically they're kind of taking damage over time. That'll be useful as well. You also want to make sure that as you're running around, you collect these bags. As you shoot arrows, you obviously lose arrows, and picking those up will replenish your arrows. Not fully, but they'll give you some extra arrows so that you can continue the fight, just in case you're a little bit low. So there we go. Again, just like with the other god, went down to about 10% health and then just faded away. That was it. And this I never noticed before. I think it's kind of weird that for defeating this god, we get the same thing, 1000 XP, then we get 250 drachma, and then we get another 1000 XP if you already have the item. I kind of feel like this should have been more. It should be like 1500, 2000 XP, but whatever. So our next step, we're going to go and visit Reda, thousands of years prior to the events of Valhalla. In every major city, you will find Reda and his Nomad's Bazaar. He's always going to sell two items. He either sells the carbon crystals, which you do not need because you could find those everywhere in fortresses, and he'll sell the Heka chest. The Heka chest you kind of want because every Heka chest, there's a possibility you will get an epic or a legendary item. The other thing that you could do is you could sell off your items. You got to remember that sometimes you have duplicate legendaries or even stuff that you don't even want, and you could just sell that off as well. And every day he'll give you a daily at around, I'm going to say 8 p.m. Eastern. So this one, he wants us to recover his merchandise. We're going to have to go out to a fortress or a bandit camp and retrieve his items. So this one, it's going to be a fortress. There it is. It's pretty much a castle. We're going to have to get up there, and then we're going to have to sneak around and get the item. Now, what's kind of crazy about this is that if there's anybody around you, if there's anybody that sees you, you're going to have to dispose of them first before you can get the item. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to interact with that. So as you saw, I kind of snuck in. There's nobody around. Just went, got the stuff, and now we could go see Reda. It doesn't have to be the same exact thing. It could be any other spot that he would be, which is every major town. I returned his items, so he gave me 1500 XP. And unfortunately, I have an epic bow. So what I'm going to do, I don't need this epic bow, obviously. It doesn't work like Odyssey, where if you have legendary, legendary is more powerful. In this game, it was, epic is more powerful in Odyssey. In this game, it's legendary. So as you see, I sold that off. I'm not that far away from having 3,000 drachma so that I could possibly get a Heka chest. I'm going to sell off a couple items here, and I'm going to go for that Heka chest. I'm going to see what we've got there. Hopefully he gives me something good. So there we go, over 100. There we go, 30, 50. So now we'll buy a Heka chest and see what we've got. And there it is. And legendary, look at that. The Nubian Scepter. I'm pretty sure I've got that already, so I'll sell that off. It's no big loss. I'm pretty sure I'll get like over 1,000 for it anyway. But anyway, that's all there is to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. It helps this channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other. Again, I'll see you all in the next one, and we're definitely ending this on a ya yeet.
Ya yeet!